He's a freedom fighter. Beautiful eyes. They call him Timothy Chalamet because he's a Houthi.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean? Excuse me? Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism. It's so weird. It's so weird. Motherfuckers want journalism, and when I'm trying to do journalism, they go, why are you doing that? Bro, you are going to get banned? I think it would be ridiculous to do that.
Hassan now has the opportunity to express his journalistic chops, to get his boots on the ground and show us just how good of a reporter he can be.
I'm doing journalism, chat. Does he know what One Piece is?
He's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. Yes. I love you too, man. Big time. Yeah.
I love you. I love you so much.
We're big fans of the Yemeni music videos. You can tell them that. I want to ask about the knife. The knives are sick. What's up with the knives? You know, the curved knives.
If one of those knives comes out in front of you, it's not going back until it has blood on it.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I mean, I think it's cool though. That's so crazy. But they're just chilling with the captains. Like, I don't understand.
The crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny. I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism. It's so weird. It's so weird. Motherfuckers want journalism, and when I'm trying to do journalism, they go, "Why are you doing that?" What do you mean? I'm just chilling. We're just vibing. Yeah, we're just vibing. We're vibing big time.
Hassan uncritically interviewed this kid for about an hour. It was the most brazen.
The show begins. The show begins. The show begins.
display of disgusting terrorist propaganda that I have maybe ever seen in Western media.
What has happened to, does he know what has happened to any of the crews? Like, I heard they...
Hassan almost asked a good question, but it's actually leading to the most obscene part of this interview.
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did talk with them, and he danced. The music with them, and he was vibing, so he likes them.
What? I mean, what? That's so crazy. Are they just chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
Ask yourself, why is he able to hang out with the captain and the crew of this pirated ship? Why would he even have a visa? Hassan noted, of course, he is a Houthi terrorist. Instead of challenging and demanding more details about these kidnapped and missing people, he just runs defense for this guy, acting like he doesn't know why that would even happen.
He's saying that they win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America, and they just go That's so funny.
It is super funny, the idea of kidnapped crew members who are being forced, probably at gunpoint, to do some death to America and maybe some curse upon the Jews. And frankly, the callous disregard for the well-being of the literal hostages is shocking, even for somebody that loves terrorism.
Is there KFC there? They're everywhere. I don't think there's a KFC in Yemen, dog.
He says they have to.
Oh, they do have KFC in Yemen? That's crazy. Okay, that's it.
Is there a KFC in Yemen?
No way, guys! Holy fuck! There's a KFC in Yemen! He's just like us! Does he know what One Piece is?
I would if he's been watching it since he was a kid.
The whole way!
Yeah.
Sick. Yes, that's fire, and that's so fire. Oh my god, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Houthi would do. You should tell him that.
You guys all remember Luffy's flag, right? Now I'm only halfway through that show, so maybe I just haven't come to it yet. But I do not remember Luffy's flag looking like this. Predictably, there was some blowback after this interview, and Hassan went immediately into damage control to rewrite history.
He said that he was just simply a Yemeni person and not a Houthi. Yeah, I mean, we don't even know if he's a Houthi or not. He's a teenager in Yemen. The dude is neither a Houthi, nor a terrorist, nor a pirate. He's not a Houthi rebel. They didn't fucking call him a Houthi either. You want to know why? Because he's not one. He's not a Houthi himself. He's not a pirate, but, you know, I don't think he's not a pirate. He has reiterated the position that he is not a Houthi. Trust me, bro, I'm not Houthi. Be for real. You sucked him off the entire street. I'm not even a Houthi militant or anything like that. When I interviewed the dude, who they still to this day call a Houthi terrorist, Tim Houthi's not even a fucking Houthi. I thought he wasn't a Houthi because he's not. No, he was just some fucking Yemeni TikToker. Random fucking Yemeni teenager. Didn't you brand it as him being a Houthi interview, though? Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean?
Alright, let's just take Hassan's word for it and assume, okay, this kid's not a Houthi rebel. He's just some ordinary Yemen teenager. Let's go ahead and take a look at his social media and see if that lines up. Alright, let's see here. Tel Aviv will burn in the coming hours. Ready for sacrifice and eager for martyrdom. Maybe he's talking about football? Here he is singing a song with the words, "Do you threaten us with what we are waiting for, son of a Jew?" Meaning of Houthi is a title, and it's not something to fear, but for the Jews. They are very afraid of this title. The execution we will carry out on all Zionists with the lovely depiction of a man impaled through his asshole and out of his mouth with a pike, or how Hassan likes to say it, a pike for a cut. Okay, why would he retweet this article called "Houthis Use Social Media to Boost Global Prominence and Support"? Israel falls. Wait for the new operation in Tel Aviv. The Jaffa drone, which no Israeli defense can stop. The ships we bombed and sank. I know the red arrow is supposed to be a cool military boss thing. This is a butt plug. Just saying. To every Zionist, I will put this into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and Zionist is clearly interchangeable to this guy. Okay, but hating Jews doesn't make you a Houthi. Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive. You know what makes you a Houthi? Being a Houthi. At least one of the two of them is being honest about it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's fire. And that's so fire. Oh my god. They're tweeting images of a Jewish person on a pike. I don't understand why this problem can't be approached with nuance. Because he is a teenager in Yemen, dude.
Talk about the bigotry of low expectations. He's a kid in Yemen, dude. What do you expect? Of course he's going to want to put a pike through a Jew's asshole and through his mouth. That's just what kids in Yemen are like, man.
And also, what do you mean? It's just a person on a pike. There's no Jewish person on a pike on that photo, unless I saw something different.
The song claims this isn't even a Jewish person on the pipe. How exactly is a naked, piped person supposed to look like a Jew for you, Hassan? You know what? You're right. Let me make it a little clearer. Person needs a bigger nose, right, Hassan? Of course he needs a yarmulke, curling things. Oh, look, Hassan. He dropped his dreidel. He must be Jewish for sure. Or, you could just read what he wrote. Dumbass, liar, terrorist-loving, propagandist piece of shit.
This is why this entire conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said this is, I think if we're, why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening? How many steps removed are we from this situation?
0? You platformed him, do you not remember? Check not clear something? When faced with fair criticism for his coverage of the Houthi, he is a total meltdown.
I fucking despise all of you, dude. I do. I really do. I hate all of you. You successfully got me to talk about patience is like, my patience is running thin on this matter. The endless selfishness, the untapped well of American selfishness and American individualism is in full display. How is this the conversation that you want to have right now?
One of the most cynical methods Hassan deploys to sidestep any criticism is to deflect to the ongoing genocide in Gaza. I've seen him do this so many times. He frames it like you are selfish for trying to criticize him. No matter what the reason is, because there's a genocide happening, man. How can you criticize me at a time like this?
Claiming that I am, too pro-Houthi. When someone is like focusing on that while there's an active fucking ethnic cleansing campaign happening. He also apparently thinks which is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life. In the middle of fucking talking about fucking genocide in Gaza and this dumb fuck. Blow your nose, brother. I love you. Not trying to be mean. Just keep some tissue nearby. Clear it out occasionally when needed. Much love. Fuck you, dude. My argument sucks? You think it justifies genocide? What are you, stupid? Everything that can be tangentially turned into like Jewish people are under attack is a decent way to just like drive discourse away from open genocide in Gaza. If your sole focus when Israel is doing a complete genocide in Gaza, if your sole focus revolves around that people are saying you're a Zionist, go fucking yell at streamers for not covering sufficiently the ongoing active genocide in Gaza instead of coming in here and fucking chirping at me.
It's kind of charging to say I'm a stenographer of the Israeli government or I'm a propagandist. I don't think there's any evidence I'm either of those things. I'm curious who you think I'm.
While we're having this conversation, 3,000, while we're having this back and forth, 3,840 Palestinians have been ruthlessly slaughtered in the last incursion into Gaza. I feel like this is an incredibly selfish, self-centered conversation to have.
This technique is so powerful because everyone's afraid of being labeled as a genocide denier. Pierce Morgan, with decades of experience, immediately surrenders when the genocide card is pulled.
When you're just a fucking stenographer, you're not a truth teller.
He has every right to defend himself. And grow up here, Pierce. Stand up for yourself, man. It's time to stop being intimidated by these online overnight activists who can even point to Gaza on a map before October 7th. Like the song, for example.
Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm gonna click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. I think no. Got it.
How can you claim to actually care about this genocide when you're willing to so cynically exploit it to sidestep any criticism? What a bigot. Before we move on, Hassan has one final taste of idiocy for us all to enjoy.
Yeah, this kid is like, he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him. Which means that for most of his life, he has withstood genocide, right? Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically, okay? Being able to talk to Anne Frank in real time.
To quote Anne Frank, I keep my ideals because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Anne Frank continues to inspire generations of people because in the face of a genocide that eventually took her and her entire family's life, except for her dad, she refused to give in to hate, malice, and violence. And then, there's this guy, who would have killed Anne Frank if he ever met her. You might think this is a sweet and innocent girl. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys we are working on a new edition just for you, Hassan. You should hear about the time she went roaming the streets of Berlin at night with a knife, slitting the throats of families, including children, babies, and the elderly. She's killed children, you guys. She even rapes people. She's just like Luffy. There is no other way to describe this than terrorist propaganda. Not only is he platforming terrorist propaganda, right, uncritically, he's participating in it.
The
He's
show
enhancing
begins.
it. He is not just a conduit. He is an active participant who's disseminating it to more and more people in a way more consumable form. This is extremely fucked up. But why should he care? They're slapping and saying death to fucking Turks. It says curse upon the Jews. Hassan likes to obfuscate on this and says nobody cares when Sean Penn interviewed El Chapo.
Sean Penn literally interviewed El Chapo. Exactly, dude.
Nobody is saying you can't have difficult conversations with controversial people. You just have to ask them hard questions, guys. We know this. Now let's move on to everybody's favorite terrorist organization. Our friends in the north is Hezbollah. Where do I even begin? Thousands of civilians have been killed globally from their terrorist acts, car bombs, and suicide attacks. They even assassinated the Lebanese prime minister. They've hijacked civilian airplanes. They've shot 15,000 rockets into civilian centers. And if you can imagine, that's not even the worst things they've done. They participated in the slaughter of over 500,000 Syrian civilians to help a dictator, Bashar Assad, stay in power. They indiscriminately bombed over civilian centers, and they killed hundreds of thousands of civilians in what can only be described as a genocide. They are a designated terrorist group by the US, by the EU, and, oh yeah, the entire Arab League, which gave them that status after their participation in the Syrian genocide. In short, nobody likes them. Well, there is one person.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do you like them or no?
They are a terrorist. Like they are designated by the United States as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have the issue with them. Let's just say
This is Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah. According to Hassan Piker, this man is a brilliant freedom fighter. But before we get into that, let's see how he feels about Jewish people. Here are some choice quotes from Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah. According to Shaul Shai, Hassan Nasrallah said in a speech delivered in Beirut, what do the Jews want? They want security and money. Throughout history, the Jews have been Allah's most cowardly and avaricious creatures. If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserly or greedy than they are.
I don't have the issue with them.
If we search the entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psyche, mind, ideology, and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice, I do not say Israeli.
I don't have the issue with them.
If Jews all gathered in Israel, it will save us the trouble of going after them worldwide. The history of Jews has proven that, regardless of the Zionist proposal, they are a people who are evil in their ideas. The state of the grandsons of apes and pigs, the Zionist Jew, the murderers of the prophet, the Jews invented the legend of the
The
Nazi
show
atrocity.
begins.
I don't have the issue with them.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah based. I mean, listen. Listen. You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fizz, and you hear about, like, some of their attitudes about, like, gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million. Okay? Like, it's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these
The
dudes
show
literally
begins.
get educated in America and in the UK. What the fuck are you guys talking about? The more you learn. This is why it's Orientalist. To literally look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons, and like sometimes they get this shit right. No, dude, he knows. It's crazy. He's read more books than you could ever imagine. And also, ultimately, he is regarded as a pretty brilliant a person in terms of like everything that he's done. You might not agree with his methods, you might not agree with his attitude overall in terms of like his opinions on civil liberties and shit like that. But ultimately, this motherfucker has read a shit ton of books.
Knowledge. I feel I've shown you guys enough evidence that Hezbollah is an evil terrorist organization, But have you considered this?
What you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim. Okay? That's what you meant to say. What you meant to say is they're Muslim. So, of course, as they're Muslim, it's different.
If you're wondering why Hassan's audience is so radicalized, it's because of stuff like this.
Israel, America's greatest ally, the most important country in the world, the most moral nation, the most moral democracy on the planet, is ruthlessly and mercilessly bombing southern Lebanon, including southern Beirut.
What did Lebanon do?
They just kind of were there. They happen to be Israel's neighbor.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who's critical of Israel is telling its rockets thing.
They just kind of were there.
Hezbollah started launching rockets into Israel hours after the October 7th raid began. They launched 12,000 rockets, killed nearly 100 people, including 12 children, and displaced 250,000 Israelis from northern Israel. That's what caused them to respond.
What did Lebanon do?
Shit. Why did he ask that? What do I say? Do I tell him the real reason? No, my audience will kill me for being a Zionist. Okay, let's try this. They just kind of were there. Hell yeah, another slick quotical saved by boots on the ground, Hassan Piker. Damn, I'm good.
Even as a pro-Palestine activist, how does lying about this serve your agenda? All it does is further radicalize people. It removes any nuance, and it avoids any criticism for his team. And this is what continues to drive this conflict on forever. Hassan is dedicated to pleasing his radical audience, even at the price of knowingly lying to them for TikTok and Twitter likes.
So I'm a propaganda.
Or he's being paid, which, you can't rule out. What a pathetic propagandist piece of shit liar. And now, let's move to Hamas, the catalyst for this entire thing. They're the ones that committed this horrible act of terrorism, one of the worst the world has ever seen, on October 7th. They are without a doubt the most extreme of all of these terrorist organizations. They are Islamic jihadists that want to convert all of Israel into an Islamic state under Sharia law. That's their stated goal. Hamas has been on the designated terrorist group pretty much as long as there's been a group. These guys have been suicide bombing civilians before ISIS leaders were even born. They fired 50,000 rockets into civilian populations and performed over 100 suicide bombings, killing thousands of civilians. Women are restricted from participating in the workplace and public life. Homosexuality is outlawed, and in some cases, of course, punishable by death. They steal foreign aid from the people of Gaza and repurpose it for military use, or they just sell it back to them. For example, why are all the Hamas leaders billionaires? And let's be real, these guys clearly are not skipping any meal. While the people of Gaza languish in poverty, these fine gentlemen are living in multi-million-dollar penthouses in Qatar. That lines up with leftist values, or, well, they were billionaires. They're all dead. They're all dead. Hamas is a bunch of psychopathic terrorists of the worst order. And nobody would be crazy enough to defend them. That's the song again. The song defended Hamas. Seriously? Yeah. We have to make last-minute changes to this part to prevent it from being age-restricted on YouTube. I cut out the footage from Hamas, and I will attempt to narrate it for you as best I can. In this scene, an older woman is walking hand in hand with a girl who looks about 12, and as they're getting in the back of the van, one of the terrorists gives them a wave goodbye and says goodbye to them in English. And the two of them, smiling, wave back.
That's crazy, dog. Dude. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. That actually, okay, that's too much. That's more than I expect. Bro, every time they're releasing hostages, the next wave they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good. Like, I'm staying.
These hostages are being released at gunpoint by the people who likely murdered their family in front of them before kidnapping them. Hassan peddling this narrative that they're sad to leave their captors is beyond disgusting.
The next wave they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good.
It's plainly obvious these are traumatized victims who are scared for their life and doing what the terrorists are telling them to do in order to avoid any conflict on the way out. Oh, look at the sweet masked terrorist with his AK-47. He's so nice. You guys see how he waved goodbye?
Oh, dude, okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is some crazy PR. They look traumatized as fuck. Wait, what? Bro, they look like they're chilling.
This girl who had her foot blasted off on October 7th and then operated on without anesthesia or painkillers is so sorry to say goodbye to her captors. She's gonna miss their hospitality, like being raped and being watched showering and changing.
The next week, they're gonna be like,
So obvious the terrorists are telling them what to do. Ethan, how can you say that? They look so happy. Keep waving. These morons forgot to cut out the part. Yes, that's a terrorist giving them an order to keep waving. And she does. See how fast she reacts? Totally not a fearful victim of terroristic kidnapping. Anyone peddling this nonsense should be embarrassed and ashamed. How pathetic can you get?
the next week, they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good. Bro, they look like they're chilling.
Alright, so Houthis is one thing, but he's not going to turn on Hamas propaganda videos and watch it on stream. There's no way. Okay, it's getting hard to defend him. Freedom fighters, musical shit.
Here is a video that came out of how Hamas produces their own motherfucking sniper rifles.
He could hardly contain his admiration for them.
Produces their own motherfucking sniper rifle.
Let's see how long he could go without offering any commentary or analysis on this Hamas hype video.
Is that
The show
Bob?
begins.
1 minute, 36 seconds. Nice. He's taken his time to analyze and think. I expect nothing less from a journalist such as Hassan.
Quiet everyone. Let's not speak.
That's crazy.
He's done it against us.
We will continue killing your soldiers by our locally manufactured snipers. Wow, there's a little message for the Americans out there as well. They're saying like artisanal snipers. So, why am I showing you?
Good question. Why are you showing us 2 minutes of uninterrupted Hamas propaganda? I'm sure he has a good answer.
The reason why I'm showing you this is because one thing that the Israeli maintenance of the apartheid has shown us is that there are no half measures on genocide. You're either going to hit the full gen, okay, have genocide, a little bit of displacement, and then continue maintaining an apartheid state and maintaining an occupation, okay? Which is basically what America did back in the day when, you know, we were building America, Manifest Destiny, right?
Hold on. You showed this to us because of Manifest Destiny? What the fuck are you talking about? This is just word salad. He's really saying nothing. So he has no good reason. Got it. Okay, fine. He likes Hamas, he watches their propaganda, but he's not going to deny the violent rapes that took place. That is way beyond the pale.
There is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that, the systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7th, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people still run with it over and over and over again.
Many young people were simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped. As I said yesterday, Israel has a right to defend itself.
What rapes did Hezbollah do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking about? The Stop Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again. Doing rape fantasies once again because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has committed horrific acts of sexual violence and
So women, girls, men, and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
It doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped were murdered on the spot. Obviously.
Jan Goldstein alone was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on the day, and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Adam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
It doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of whom were in hiding, heard or saw it happen. Each week there's more stories coming out. There's a UN report that included it.
It doesn't matter.
But Hassan, these are rape kits, mutilated bodies. No file to deny the suffering and trauma of the victims just because you need your heroes at Hamas to be perfect. This conflict will never end until people realize that Palestinian liberation and Israeli security are not mutually exclusive. You need both, and it can be, but not while people like Hassan lie, propagandize, and incite hate. It's people like him, ironically, that prolong the conflict indefinitely. There's no space for conversation, there's no space for rational thought, there's no space for ignorance. My position on Palestine is like 5 degrees off from where Hassan is. And to him and his community, I'm the devil. I'm a Nazi. It's delusional thinking, it's destructive to their own cause.
It doesn't matter if the dynamic for me even this much. God forbid you throw up the green Hamas banner.
And now, let's move on to our next terrorist organization, Twitch TV. Sinwar, Nasrallah, Dan Clancy. Of course, I'm being a little silly when I call Twitch a terrorist organization. It's only a megaphone for terrorist propaganda. Dan Clancy has been the CEO for a few years, and under his leadership, there's been a few notable instances. One being reducing the premium subscription split from 70-30 to 50-50, which he reversed after backlash. He also attempted to ban the size of sponsored logos on screen to 3% of the size of the screen was also reversed after backlash. It was essentially achieved. Now, that was a job. Weapons for the trouble. It likes I think for himself, legacy most of the countries was the problem. They're taking up things as leftist commentator, Hassan Tiger. I like the frankness and the bluntness. He's comfortable saying whatever he believes. Don't you think that might be part of the problem there, Danny Boy?
It doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
By speaking what he believes, he should be on par with the other fringe radical political screamers. But no, not under Dan Clancy. Dan has elevated him to the status of Twitch golden. And if you still have doubts, let this settle. Just for clarity, Dan Clancy's the one filming and singing Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never meeting Hassan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my god.
Happy birthday, dear Hassan.
That's crazy.
Happy birthday to you. I'm like a birthday from Twitch, Hassan. I've been looking around and I genuinely have never seen another video like this either, where Dan Clancy or any top executive forced all these poor sons of bitches during their lunch breaks to gather around in the crew room and sing happy birthday for Hassan Tiger. How humiliating is that? There's also a small issue of Dan being a total creep. Want to more clips? That's very nice. And now you have clips. Okay? Suppose you want to check out the story to see what you missed yesterday. You click there, and now you're Yep. That's really, yes. Also, yeah. Suppose you want to check out the story. You think what you did yesterday. Click there. Okay. That's good. That's good. You know, Dan, I would have let this creep narrative go. If it didn't happen twice, roll it.
You want to see Cliff? Cliff is right, and now you're seeing the Cliff's it. And that's, yeah.
First of all, it's gross enough you're a creep. Well, what an incompetent idiot you are. You're the CEO of Twitch and you get caught with the fucking... You get caught with the girlies on your homepage twice? Oh, come on, dude. You got a wife. A daughter. We don't even know about that. Don't want that in my head. It's also a little bit disturbing considering, you know, these people's bosses. Alright, so he's incompetent. He's a creep. Protecting terrorist propagandist. So what's up? So what's the big deal with Aunt Clancy? Well, what happened next is what really made me realize how corrupted and rotten Twitch is to the very core of the organization. First, let me introduce you to Frogan.
Why didn't you pick up Crypto Home Depot and buy some rope?
She's one of Hassan's main moderators. She's leading great discourse like Islamophobia for saying don't kill civilians. She has zero talent. She has 100 concurrent viewers, but somehow she's always on the homepage. She's winning awards. Nobody's watching her. Nobody cares. Why is she relevant? We don't know. It's important for me to show you guys what an actual horrible person Frogan is, so that you can see who Twitch is elevating. So let's start with this clip. Ludwig, a large streamer on Twitch, donated $10,000 to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. That's a wonderful thing to do, right? No, not good enough for Frogan.
I find ultimately, like, if I were to do a charity thing, where the charity thing relies on your donations, it should be something where, like, 95% of people see the good and are down for it. And, like, ultimately, regardless of what you think, that is not the situation here. So I personally donated $10,000. Because I think it is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate. But I won't throw it on you, you know what I mean? No thanks. And some people are going to say that, you know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take.
Difference between, like, hey, I can put my money where my mouth is, but I don't need to put your money there. I don't need to enter a fucking debate about whether that's worthwhile.
I know Arabs are dying, but, you know... I'm going to tell you to go. Do whatever you want. Me, I donated $2,000, but I'm not going to promote it. Just don't say you donated $2,000. Like, if you're not actively believing, if you don't believe in the cause, and if you're not against genocide at this point, like, keep your fucking money. Keep your $10,000. Keep your little chunk of change. Like, what do you want? Do you want me to say, like, congratulations?
Imagine being Frogan, a leftist living in LA in comfort, begging for her rent money on strength, and telling displaced and famished Palestinian children, no kids, you need to give that $10,000 back. Ludwig didn't pass my purity test.
Keep your fucking money.
But wait, there's more.
No city at all for any fucking soldiers. This guy, thank you so much. I will never any fucking police for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking knew? I hope you get PTSD. Oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro on this film. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
This clip obviously made the rounds on social media and rightfully outraged a lot of people. Here's how she responded the next day.
I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Hey,
If they posted it in my head, I'm like, babe? Babe? Like, am I supposed to be like, I'm not walking back on it. I still fucking agree with it. Aw, babe.
The smug defiance Rogan is showing is only because she knows that Twitch will do nothing to moderate her, despite veterans being classified as a protected group in Twitch's own community guidelines. But wait, there's more!
Okay, 6250, 9/11 baking stream with Raph and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raph, and I will make the Twin Towers out of the stacked cake, and we'll make an airplane, and we'll recreate 9/11.
This week was the final straw for me. You'll notice the date is October 7th, 2023, the morning of the massacre, at 5:30 a.m. Pacific. At this moment, the Los militants had infiltrated a music festival and several kibbutzim, where they began their wanton slaying of civilians. Here's what she tweeted. Leftists preaching foaming the mouth at the thought of a revolution emanating in America. And as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. It's not what she said, it's when she said it. While she was on Twitter celebrating, I was listening to the local news in Israel. Families were calling into news stations begging for help. Let me show you what I mean. The morning of October 7th, Israelis were listening to calls like this all morning long. Dozens of them. Imagine reading this tweet after listening to this. This woman should have moved on years ago to another profession, but for some reason Twitch is obsessed with keeping her on life support, and instead of moderating her, they actually gave her an award, Together for Legendary Woman, in which she would get front page placement all year long. This is actually my favorite detail about Pro. She won Rising Star Award at the Streamer Award, an award was put on by her friends. And then, the next year now, she gets nominated for Rising Star again. Are they fucking with her? You can't be Rising Star twice. It's up or it's down, man. You were never up. That was the problem. They tried to pretend like you were up, but you were always down. Rising Star twice. Was this fucking Mario Kart? You hit a boot stump there or some shit? Because Krogan is a two-time Rising Star champ, and because of her massive viewership of 100 concurrent viewers, it only makes sense that Twitch will give her one of the main stages at TwitchCon to do a 25-minute long segment. Her idea that was Twitch approved is Arab and Jew racial tier list. So the premise is who can say Habib, an Arabic word of affection like baby or sweetheart, and this tier list determines who can say it. Top or developed tier is Arabic. And at the bottom, the worst one is, quote, Love Sabra. Now, why does Love Sabra equate to Jew? Sabra is a well-known Israeli company that makes hummus. They've been on the divestment list for many, many years, so the activists are well aware of their status. Oh yeah, Sabra literally means a Jew that was born in Israel. It also plays up an anti-Semitic trope that denies Jewish identity in the Middle East. There's this idea that Israelis are all white colonizers who are stealing the culture and identity of Arabs to make it seem like they belong there. Watch Rogan and her co-host accuse Israelis of culturally appropriating Arab culture.
Well, the one thing that's like funny is that there's two types of like genocide, right? There's like genocide of real people, and then there's like cultural genocide, right? Like this is fucking funny. Those motherfuckers trying to take hummus and say it's Israeli is the most insane thing.
Dude, the fact that they have the audacity to create Sabra and make that like the staple of hummus of America, insane.
That's actually like cultural appropriation. Like people get mad when someone has like dreadlocks and they call that culture. I'm like, oh, it's just like a hairdo. Like it's okay. People like white people are allowed to have dreadlocks if you want dreadlocks, but like actually trying to claim our food, our desserts.
Just one question for you guys. Who the fuck do you think is making the hummus in Israel? Martha Stewart? No, it's the same fucking Arabic-speaking Jews that you kicked out in the 1950s. Yes, they also like hummus, and they like all the same shit you do. Because they are you. They're from your country. You kicked them all out, and now you're accusing them of stealing your culture. You want to talk about cultural genocide? Well, here it is. You racist piece of shit.
Those motherfuckers trying to take hummus and say it's Israeli is the most insane thing.
Hey, scumbag, here's a hummus place for you to eat at. The chef is from Yemen. Here's another dude from Syria. Does this dude look like a white colonizer to you? Would you like to tell him he's stealing your culture? Well, this is what most Israelis look like.
Dude, the fact that they have the audacity to create Sabra.
This is casual bigotry being passed around like a leftist talking point. It's exactly what people are saying, that anti-Semitism is coming mostly from the left. And yes, I know this dipshit is also Jewish. Incredible. He picked up so many tokens. He actually became one. By the way, everybody on this panel is looking pretty fucking white themselves. So bearing all this in mind, it's really not a stretch to say that the Love Sabra bracket is a dog whistle for Israelis or Jews.
The next person is one of my favorite people, Ethan Klein.
That's what you guys are
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. Yeah, that's good. All right, turn that up. Turn your action.
We all know where this is going.
You guys are missing a category for Zionists. I was a joke. I was just a joke in my.
Stand up. Well, obviously it's Love Sabra, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely Love Sabra.
She apparently consulted with the head of the KKK, and he told her more subtle. So if it wasn't obvious enough, they pulled me, one of the best-known Jewish creators, and immediately put me in Sabra. The song, by the way, is Turkish, not Arab. That's the good. That's the good. The Arab ethnicity is S tier. Then Denham jokes that we don't have a category low enough for Zionists, once again calling out my Jewish identity.
Where's the, you guys are missing a category for Zionists.
And if it isn't about being Jewish, why would they put Ben Shapiro in the thumbnail? One of the other most prominent Jews on YouTube, and the category next to me, when he's not even featured in the game. Who's next down there? Anne Frank? Einstein? Seth Rogen? Schindler? Well, he wasn't Jewish, but they would put him down there, let's be real. It also doesn't help the case that both Noah and Israel's wife were born in Israel, which would make them Sabras. So love Sabra, literally in this case, means Jew lover. That sounds pretty racist. But what about the title? How Arab are these Twitch streamers? Hold on a minute. I thought this was about hummus. You know, I'm tired of these people gaslighting me. Haven't the Jews been gassed enough? But you're telling me you understand what a microaggression is, but you can't understand why a Jewish man might be uncomfortable with it. I feel like this is indefensible, blatant, obvious anti-Semitism, and this was greenlit by Twitch to appear on their main stage. How is that even possible? Right in front of their sponsors too, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. This racial tier list was brought to you by our sponsors, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. This is an example of Twitch management elevating a racist nobody like Rogan at the detriment of their own company's well-being. Wow. After the predictable controversy this caused, Dan Clancy, the CEO, went live for the first time after 2 weeks and did an FAQ.
It's exciting to be here. Mary, thanks for having me. It's always a joy to do this with you. And we have a lot to talk about.
No problem.
And
That's not for you.
looking forward to questions.
Let's take a look at some of the questions they got. This person asked, do you plan on addressing the anti-Semitism problem? Dan's response, permanent ban. Why do you not ban streamers that show terrorist propaganda on your website? Good question. Permanent ban. Do you care to comment about the ADL and anti-Semitism on Twitch? Ban. Why the fuck is the CEO banning people for asking reasonable questions about a relevant controversy they've been in. What the fuck is this? These are not even written like in a mean way. You are banned, just like the entire country of Israel. It had just been discovered around the same time as this Arab tier list that Twitch had secretly, without announcing it anywhere, banned the entire country of Israel from creating new accounts. This was enacted right after October 7th, and it continued on for a year. And if you're wondering how you didn't hear about it before, it's not because the Israelis weren't talking. Here's the top Israeli streamer's video, which is entitled, Twitch does not want Jews on their platform. He explains that they slowly started to realize no accounts could be made, and him and his fellow Israeli streamers were causing a lot of noise to get noticed. But Twitch completely ignored them for 5 months. When he created a support ticket with Twitch, it was straight up deleted with zero explanation. Around the end of the year, when people started talking about anti-Semitism on Twitch, Dan Saltman discovered the Israel ban when he was sent the code proving the block happened, presumably from someone who works at Twitch, and it could no longer be ignored. Israeli and American media started to pick up the story, which finally forced Twitch to respond. He also explains the block started on October 13th, which happens to be Global Jihad Day, when Islamic terrorists call on others globally to act, which he thinks is an odd coincidence. They were never notified in any way, and it greatly affected their business. He says he doesn't feel safe with Dan Clancy in power, as he feels he can no longer trust him. When Israelis try to sign up, it gives you a generic error. It doesn't say anything that suggests that you're ineligible because you're in Israel. So, when one of these guys wrote the survey, what he said, I'm really sorry for your case. Well, it turned out unfortunately you were not eligible for this account. As a result, we closed the case at this time. Dan Clancy panicked and posted 2 terrible explanations on Twitter that were immediately community noted. How can Twitch say on one hand that they've reviewed the case thoroughly, and then on the other hand say it was an accident and they didn't know? This is all very fishy. A big media company like Twitch doesn't realize that their new account signups from Israel has completely flatlined? You're telling me that you guys didn't notice that? That's impossible. Then, at the same time, it was announced that Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, and the little Houthi twink terrorists were all banned and they can stream again on Twitch. This is like the holy trinity of anti-Semitism.
So guys, yeah, we're back on Twitch. Welcome. I know we had gotten banned or whatever, or we got suspended, but I went ahead and appealed it, and we're back in the house, man. So for all the haters out there that were like, you know, oh yeah, they're gonna ban on Twitch. Because we are back in the house, they can't stop it.
They did stop it, and all 3 of the accounts were eventually rebanned. But the decision to unban those 3 creators at that exact time and be 3 of the best-known anti-Semites on the internet seems to clearly be trying to send a message. And then it was discovered that Twitch's head of policy and community guidelines was previously fired from her job publicly by the British government. Why? She does not like the Jews. That's right. Their head of trust and safety was previously suspended from her job at Ofcom for being too anti-Zionist. And guess where her very next job was at? That's right, Twitch TV. Apparently she was posting pro-Hamas tweets only mere days after October 7th happened. That's so interesting. It sounds just like someone else we know. It's almost like supporting terrorists. It's institutional. Hell, it might even be a prerequisite. Take a look at this tweet from Twitch's senior manager of inclusive marketing, RDhjiRbJkooujl, on October 12th. People are posting screenshots of them donating to Israel relief funds. Shake my head, y'all are truly rooting for the oppressor. Read a damn book. This tweet was made only 5 days after the October 7th massacre. The donations she's criticizing would go to families like this, if they were still alive. This entire family was murdered in cold blood by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. Bridget, who did these little girls oppress? How can you act so high and mighty for your cause and be so callous and inhuman for the innocents on the other side? This statement was made by the senior manager for inclusive marketing.
Is that some kind of joke? Is this what inclusion looks like at Twitch?
Is it really crazy at this point, after all this, to say that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem? I think it would be harder at this point to argue the opposite.
Oh, Bridget, one more thing, sorry, I forgot.
And you can tell me the answer to this riddle? What's the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? I'm standing by. Let us know. And yes, it's true, I should point out this tweet is from 2011. This one, however, is from 22. Sarah Silverman tweeted out, Kanye threatened the Jews yesterday on Twitter, and it's not even trending. Why do mostly only Jews speak up against Jewish hate? The silence is so loud. Bridget said, this was the energy I was around when I worked with 2 Jewish women in social impact, who were both senior. She's trying to make Sarah Silverman seem like some kind of Jewish Karen for caring about anti-Semitism. I wouldn't really care about any of this if she wasn't the head of fucking diversity at Twitch. What the fuck is happening here? This is insane. So if people like her decided what is and isn't okay on Twitch, there's no surprise that you end up with these extraordinarily uneven enforcements of the rules. Take, for example, this clip of the streamer Destin, who was permanently banned for what he said here.
So that community is never worth engaging with. There's no point in doing it. Like, it's to the risk of me, like, ending up getting, like, perma-banned and my life destroyed because of these, like, inbred fucking disgusting losers. It's like, it's just not worth it. It's just totally not.
And okay, fair enough. If you're going to be consistent with the enforcement, then, let's have a friendly place, a safe environment. It's calling a minority group inbred, which results in a permanent ban. Okay, has anyone else done that?
The Jewish KKK brigades out there, just a bunch of fucking inbred pigs. Imagine the most inbred white supremacist guy you can imagine, okay? Every week there was another fucking psychopathic settler, inbred fucking douchebag. This inbred fucking douchebag. Exactly, dude. A nation entirely comprised of messianic, inbred, ultra-Orthodox psychopaths that these inbred don't understand. Educated, inbred, fundamentalist hicks calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, carried a bomb, communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus. Untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture.
You want to see clips?
Inbred.
Clips that, and that's yeah.
A song. A non-Jewish person is referring to Jews as inbred consistently throughout his career.
Inbred, ultra-Orthodox psychopaths.
Zero punishment. Hassan interviewing the Houthi pirate.
The Houthi, Hassan Allah, is doing what Houthi would do. You should tell him that.
Zero punishment. Hassan watching terrorist propaganda with zero critical commentary.
They do what do they do? Musicals. They're very musical people. Are you serious?
Zero punishment. Hassan threatening a sitting congressperson. This one actually blew my mind. When I saw he tweeted that, I said, he's done for this for sure. For sure. For those that may not recognize this weapon, I'll explain. Shinzo Abe is a former Japanese prime minister